Hey up, welcome back to the Man Cave Workshop, and thank you so much for joining me again. Okay, we're finishing off on this Roberts Model RFM3. I'm going to have a look at under here. There's a backing plate on the dial face, and we're going to see if we can flip it over. Now, when I've been handling this radio, I've had to be really careful with it. If you do take one of these apart, be careful also. If you look here on this ferrite rod, the actual wires are so delicate that are attached to it. It'd be so easy to dislodge or just knock one of them out of place. So I just thought I'd point that out. Be careful if you're servicing one of these radios, because them wires are so delicate. Okay, right, let's get this dial face off. Now then, in one of my old videos, there's been a new question from a subscriber asking how to get knobs off radios. Now, basically, I'll just do this quickly. What you want to do, you want to look on the edge first to see. Some of them have a little grub screw, and if they do, obviously you have to take that out before you can get the knob off. First thing to do, what you don't want to do is get like a screwdriver and start prising, because you'll damage the knob and you'll damage the dial face. So, oh sorry, I just whacked the camera then, didn't I? So really what you want to do first is just with your hands just try to lift them off, and these, I mean that one's come off fairly easy. Now, failing that, if it's really being stubborn, what you can do is get a piece of cloth and just wrap it underneath, so I can demonstrate this, so it gives you a bit of leverage, and then you can pull, you can work your way around. You do have to be careful not to damage the collar or anything on the knob, otherwise it just spoils it really. So as you can see, that's the technique. You work around and it gives you a bit of leverage and gets it off nice and cleanly without damaging this dial face. So I hope that clears that one up. Anyway, let's pull the dial face away. Stuck on the airwheel a little bit. Yeah. I'm going to have a go at flipping this over. Not done this before. So here we go. Oh, let me get there's a little tool called the smudger or a chalk. I'll just go get that. Right, okay, I'll try not to nudge the camera again while we do this. So let's see if it will just lift off. I believe they're quite brittle, these. If it ain't gonna come off easy, I don't fancy breaking it. So I'll just give up and keep it the snotty green colour that it is, if it looks like it's going to break. Right, let's move the needle away. Like a few other YouTubers, it's absolutely freezing cold in my workshop at the moment. You can probably hear the cold in my voice and the, the shaky hands. I've got the heater on, but it takes a while to warm up. This is not going to come off easy, is it? I think what I'm going to do, I like to heat up glue to see if it'll soften. Don't know if you're supposed to use acetone or isopropanol. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to heat this up and see if it'll soften, just with a hairdryer. So there we go. Turn that off. You can see what I'm doing. I'm just heating it up with a dryer. Watch out for the noise. See if it'll start it. Oh, that's coming a bit easier now. It's got warm. You see that starting to lift a bit? Can you see what I'm doing? Oh, I'm going to break this. What's it like on the other side, actually? I don't know if it's just the same colour on the other side. So there we go, it's started to come now. I think I'll just heat it up a bit more. I do find it a good way of getting things off that are glued to heat them up. Oh, don't want to snap it, do we? Right, perhaps I will put something, I don't know, isopropyl or something down the back of there. Okay. And what I'll do, I'll try heating it up one more time. Oh, yeah, it just needed a bit more heat. I think it's starting to come now. Oh dear. Oh. It is coming. Oh, I think I've just twisted it a little bit there, but it really is starting to lift now. Let's get some more heat on it. I don't know what they've used to stick it, but it seems pretty tough. I've seen other people do this, and sometimes they just ping off. This one, it's just being a bit of a pain, really. See if we can break it right at the end. There we go. Wow. So there's the difference in colour. So yeah, it is worth doing. What I'll do now, I'll clean all this glue off, and we'll just stick it back on with some fresh glue. Right, okay, yeah, just get the glue off that. Dead easy. Was it heck? I don't know. I've tried lighter fluid. I've actually scratched it, you know, with rubbing it. I've tried isopropyl. I've tried all sorts, and even where it looks clear, it still feels tacky. I'm sure this, I think it's acetone, but I haven't got any that you use, or this stuff called Goo Gone. But yeah, I can't get the glue off that. So you notice here, I've got one of these, they're just cheap paper folders. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this as a template and cut out of this folder and use this, because I don't fancy, you see it's sticking to my hands now, I don't fancy putting that back in. So I'll just cut one out of here, and then we'll see how we get on with that. Okay, so I've cut one out, and it's okay. I'm going to put the top on. Hope you're enjoying this, finding it entertaining. I could have edited it all out, but when things go wrong, might as well show it. Like I say, I cannot get the glue off that. I've tried again, and I've scratched it anyway. And I think that looks okay. I was thinking about doubling it up, because you can still see the glue underneath on this face here. So if I double it up, I was looking at the clearances, and this still has enough clearance, so it doesn't. There's a good like millimetre underneath these little edges that hold the dial face on, and it does work okay. So let's put the dial face back on. If I double them up, let me do it half and half so you can see. About half and half, so that you can see through the dial face there. There's just a single one. Not sure if the camera's picking it up, but it does look a lot richer doubled up, so I think that's what I'm going to do. Really could Could have done with a solid colour, but you know, I'm just using what I've got to hand, so I'll double them up anyway and see if that improves it. To be fair, it doesn't look too bad just like that, but when the light can play tricks. In actual fact, it looks like that. Can you see the glue on the background? I got that glue off, but like I say, I'm struggling getting that glue off. If I got the glue off, it wouldn't be a problem to just use this single piece. Let me put that back on and have a really close look at that. Do you know, it's not too bad just on its own, is it? The camera's lying a little bit. It looks better. Well, I'm looking what you can see and I'm looking at it for real. There's no point in lying, is there? The camera's making it look better than it is. Does look nicer doubled up. I've got loads of this anyway out of one folder, so I'll see if I can stick two together and then check all the clearances and that. Okay. I'll just show you how I'm cutting these, just in case you're wondering. I'm just using one as a template. With a pencil, just drawing around it best I can. I don't know if you can, the camera might not pick up that line. And then I'm just getting a ruler, a steel rule, lining it up again best I can. And then with a sharp knife, just starting gently. You don't want to be going crazy at first, because you'll end up going all over the place like this. So just start scoring it. Dead easy to cut this stuff. And let's do the end there. Let's see if we can get it square. I can just about barely see that pencil line. Like I say, just gently scoring it. And then cutting through the ruler, nearly cutting through your fingers. Yeah, it's dead good when the camera's in the way. There we go. Let's put them together now. Yeah, I think it looks a lot. See, there's what it's like, just a single. You can see through it until you get it in a certain light, but doubled up, it looks loads better. Right, I'm going to go for that now. I think you're getting fed up of me messing about with this, so I'm going to stick them together, stick them back in here. I'm not going to attempt to get that glue off because I'm just finding that really, really difficult. If you're screaming and shouting at the screen saying, oh, you should have used this and that, well, I'm using what I've got. So let me get this in and we'll see how it looks then. So there we go, that's it doubled up. Like I say, again, I'm looking through the camera to see what you're seeing. It doesn't look far off that, but you can see in the flesh, you can see that old glue mark underneath. Can I get it in the light so you can see how it is worse? I tell you what, it's a hell of a lot better than that. You see the difference there. Once the dial face is on, I'm quite happy with that. I think it looks really good. It really does. You know, it looks perfect with the dial face on. When you take it off, I mean, the glue's not dried yet. It looks a little bit, it's hard to see now, but a little bit like a map where that glue on here is. Really, I should have took my time, got the right products and took it off, but sometimes I get impatient. There we go. And I could have edited all this out of the video, but where's the fun in that, eh? Right, let's get the knobs back on and the next job. Okay, knobs back on. That all seems to be working okay. It's a bit loose. I suppose once the trim's on and I took the aerial out while I was messing about. It just slides in there and clips on there. Yeah, I think that looks better. Right, jobs to do. To clean this pot out, it was a bit scratchy. So let's get some. I've run out of service oil and I haven't got any of that deoxit, so I'm using this stuff. Seems to work okay. And then the switch bank. Switch bank looks very enclosed. I suppose we can squirt a bit down these bits here. There wasn't much noise from the switches, so I don't think that's too much of a worry. Let's just work that in though. Get the thing back together. That's all that's left to do now, really. Okay. You know, I said that, and there is a couple more things to do, isn't there? There was this wobbly turntable on the bottom of here. So again, what we'll do, we'll find a socket that's about the right size, not that one. And we'll just press them back down. We can actually hear them going back. See what I'm doing there? Just using that socket. Oh, that's nice and tight now. No movement there. All nice and flat. They just worked up a little bit over time. And the last thing we're going to do is the badge. Right. Okay. You know what? I was just about to start to. I use this stuff, this liquid chrome. I was just about to start filling in the little bits on the edges on the badge. And then I realised that this stuff takes a good 24 hours to go off, so best off putting the radio back together first and painting the badge last. So don't do things like that, pick the radio up and mess it up what we've just all done with this chrome pen. So I'm going to get the radio back together now off camera, unless anything goes wrong, and then I'll quickly switch the camera on to show you it going wrong. But it's just the reverse of the dismantling video that you saw at the beginning of this series. I thought I'd show it going back together anyway. If you don't want to watch it, just skip through this part. What I like to do with these trims is pick the best side and face that up. Like you can see on that one, there's a couple of, probably won't pick up on the camera, there's a couple of marks. So I'll put that face down and the nicest side up. Let's drop the chassis back in, because I think it's going to be straightforward, but I think I'm going to struggle and fiddle a bit with this, getting this DC jack back in. So I just thought I'd film it in case it all goes wrong for me, and then it's a bit more entertaining then, isn't it? Right then, so let's get them out. Probably just played havoc with the colour that. Now that goes in there. This is going to be the fun part, isn't it? Let's put this on the right way round. I have done one of these radios in the past and I put that on the upside down actually. How we're going to do this, we'll get a screw in. That. Push that all the way through and then try to line this up. There's not much room in there. Try to line this up and just get any old screwdriver just to start it off with. Oh, that was too lucky. Sorry guys, it caught straight away. I thought it might be a bit of a struggle and a bit of a laugh to watch me get frustrated with it, but well, actually one side's gone in and one hasn't. Yeah, this side hasn't gone in. So let's see if we can line it up properly. Come on. No. Has it got it? Yeah, we've got it. I'll just show you bits like this because tiny little things like this can get you really, really frustrated when it's not working properly. I was lucky that time. Speaker leads back on. Have I forgot anything? No, I put the aerial back in. Usually I usually get to this point, you know, I've forgot something. I'm sure you've been there yourself. It's usually when the handle, you have to put the handle on before the chassis. I usually forget to do that and have to take it all back apart again to get the handle on. Does that just sit there like that? I think so. Okay, let's get the chassis secured in. Like I say, feel free to skip forward. That's too small, that screwdriver. Let's get another one. We don't need 300 pounds of torque on these screws either. They just need to be nipped up really. Okay. Oh, that little tiny screw. And we've not lost anything, thanks to Lee for making this little tray for us. That's brilliant. Whoops. Unless I drop it now. You know, if you drop anything off your bench, you'd never ever find it again, ever. Let's line that up. Oh, just as I'm finishing getting this radio together, the workshop's actually started to warm up. There we go. Base on. And there we go, all back together. Right, let's get this badge sorted out. Like I said before, I'm going to use this liquid chrome pen. Now, it's got a little ball bearing in it, so you have to shake it up to mix the chrome inside it. And this one I think is a 2mm tip, so it's quite cumbersome to do this. So what I'm going to do, I've got this tiny little brush. I'm going to put some of the chrome just onto this piece of paper here, I don't know if you can see it, like that, and then quickly, you can go gloopy, get some on this brush and then just touch in. Let me get you close in, then you can see exactly what I'm doing. Hope it's focused. So yeah, before it dries up on the paper, I've got it on this tiny brush. I just find it easier to use than the nib on the chrome pen. Just dry up quick though. But yeah, this liquid chrome, it's the best that I've tried. I've tried all sorts of silver paints and stuff, but nothing, in my opinion, comes close to this liquid chrome. It really is good stuff. Let's just get a little bit more on. It's dried up already here. Yeah, on the nib there, it works like a pump. So if you pump it, out comes the chrome. Did I just say that? Like I said, I do like using this little brush. I just find it easier to get a bit of detail on. Right, that's that done. You know, sometimes less is more on these. If you try to go really over the top, they can end up looking a lot worse. Let's pull the camera out and put the handle on. Now, if you remember before, it looks like somebody had tried to prise this handle open here. Now I've tried to tap it down just with the back of a screwdriver, and I think that's making it look worse. So I'm gonna leave it be. Now this was tight, wasn't it, when it came off? So to put it back on, we don't want to be scratching the wood. Let's line up one side. Let's get our thumb on the badge and wipe all that chrome off that we've just put on. And I'm just trying to get it on there without it touching or scratching the wood. It is a tight handle, this. There we go. And then lift it up to lock it into place. All done. I think we should give this radio a little spin. Woohoo! A little test now, and then move on to something else. Okay. Okay, I've turned the overhead light off, so hopefully you can see the dial face better where we did that backing. Oh, that shows up okay, all nice and blue. Like, we're on long wave, bit of volume on.
They might as well try just going full on talk. Corby didn't go far enough. They should just.
So there's radio 4.
Just in a like pair of shorts with all mustard down it.
So there is interference in the workshop. Let's go for medium wave. Oh yeah, that's not scratchy now. Oh, it was scratchy before that. That switch cleaner's obviously done its job. That's fine. Let's see.
Is, you know, an increased level of adrenaline. There is so much more at stake. There's the international shirt on your back, etc. But I would like to think, in the advent of 25, how many years, probably more than that, years of professionalism, that...
Okay, sounds okay to me. FM, let's give it a little bit of area. I've not fully extended it. It seemed to have quite good sensitivity on FM as I was testing it before. I didn't even have the aerial up. Anyway, let's go.
Of your mind. So maybe...
Let's put it on FM,
I'm Johnny Vaughan. This is the Kickabout on... Last year, Chuck.
You've been cheating on me, but I've been cheating.
Gang after a glade, none more so than my Super Bowl.
And a game in hand. Premier League clubs will not be obliged to let Portuguese or South just...
Talking about how restricted our home...
There we go. It all seems to work really well. Sorry I was skipping through the stations there. You know what it's like with YouTube copyright. You can't stay on a music station very long. I think we've done everything I want to do to this radio. So if you stuck it to the end of this series and the end of this video, thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, give us a thumbs up. I appreciate that. If you got anything to comment about, then don't hesitate to put in the comments your thoughts. And as always, thank you for watching. Catch you in the next one, and be good to each other.